Okay. So let's get things moving. How's everybody? Oh, good. Awesome. Week number 11. We're getting there. In terms of content, we just have this week and next week. Then the third one will be the test, and the last one will be the presentation. Okay, so we're getting there. Today, actually, let me flip here. Today we'll be talking about deployment. How to deploy our applications live to a service like Azure. There are many other services out there, but as we are in the Microsoft space with this course, and actually the book also covers Azure, so I said, let's do with Azure, and we're going to be deploying live. You're going to be trying to deploy yours as well, okay? So the idea is that we can all publish the work that we are doing. Maybe you can use that for an interview. You can say, hey, click here, and you can give a URL. And you can see the kind of work that I'm doing at college, the kind of experience that I'm having. So again, you can now expose, you don't need to open your laptop, you can just give a URL, and people will be able to see your application live, okay? What is that? No, actually, GitHub is a source code repository place. What we're going to be doing today is actually going to be deploying our application live so we can run our application live. We don't need to run it locally. It will be running from our remote location. In our case, we're going to be using Azure Service. We could have used Amazon AWS. There are quite a few options out there, but the most popular ones are really Google. Google has its infrastructure, Amazon, and Azure. Those are the big three. Okay? And again, we're going to be practicing that. We're going to be doing some exercise about that. Today, again, I'll be stepping through things. We're going to be doing this live online. So there are certain steps that we have to wait until Azure creates the database. It may take a minute. It may take 2 minutes. So there are things that take a little bit of time to get commissioned, to get done by, when we're dealing with a live environment like Azure, okay? So there's a little bit of waiting that we have to do as we go through this. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be creating a database on Azure. Actually, I did not mention that. Our application is database driven, so if it's going to be running live, we need to create database on Azure as well. Our two databases for Sports Store, we have the product database and the identity database. So we have to create both of them there. And then, once we create them, we're going to deploy the application to Azure as well, okay? It will require you to create an account on Azure. As you can use your Centennial email address. It will give you access there. They also have a free trial that will run for either 30 days or $250. So again, for you to fully utilize that, you're going to have to create an account. I'll be doing some of that today, and you're going to have a chance to do that as well. So this is related to Chapter 12. The end of Chapter 12 is about deployments, okay? And deployment is one of the main takeaways from this course as well. Knowing how to be able to deploy, how you can deploy the application, okay? There's no video pre-built for that, so you're going to use whatever we go through here in this class as your reference points to see how you can perform deployments. Again, today we're not going to be touching too much the application here. We're not going to be coding much, at least not during the deployment. We might be doing that afterwards, okay? So let's leave our diagram for now. Azure. What is Azure? Anyone has any ideas of what Azure is?
It's a web hosting service, right?
Web hosting service, yeah. From whom? By whom?
Microsoft.
By Microsoft. Okay, so it's their big offering, head-to-head with whom? They go head-to-head against Amazon. Okay, so they are really the big competitors in the space. They have Azure has a ton of services, a ton of stuff. Very easy to get a bit overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that they have there, but we're going to be very specific and very on what we want to use there. Okay, let's have a look at this video here. The person talks a little bit about Azure, so I thought it would be a good introduction to Azure to check that out.
Cloud computing. What exactly is cloud computing? What is Microsoft Azure? Some of its some form in the market. Hi guys, this is Rahul from Simply Learn, and today we'll be talking about one of the fastest growing and second largest cloud computing platform in the market right now. I'm talking about Microsoft Azure. Now, before we begin, let's talk about what we'll be covering in this video. First, we'll talk about why you should be interested in cloud computing. What exactly is cloud computing? What is Microsoft Azure? Some of its services and the users of Azure. Now, let's start with why you should be interested in cloud computing. Now, let's say you have an idea for a revolutionary application. An idea that ticks both the boxes when it comes to good applications. One, it has great user experience. And two, it will be highly profitable. Now, for it to be successful, you will have to release it on the internet. People need to use it, they need to spread the word, and then it will become truly famous. However, for that, you're going to need servers, storage, developers, a dedicated network, and application security to ensure your application works the way it does. Now, these are a lot of components, and that's where the problem lies. There are two major disadvantages to this approach. The initial setup is very expensive and risky, which means this requires a huge amount of capital upfront to ensure that it works properly. And the downside is, if your application does not become famous or it doesn't return as much as you expect it to, you're probably not going to get the money back, which means it provides a huge amount of risk. And then, on the flip side, if it does become famous, the number of users have increased, which means that you'll have to buy more servers and storage systems to keep up with your demand. And this problem can be solved with the help of cloud computing. Now that you know why you should be interested in cloud computing, let's go into the details of what exactly is cloud computing. Now, cloud computing is basically a platform that gives you access to a number of computing resources. And this is possible with the help of the internet. Now, as a user, all you need to do is go to a cloud service provider through your laptop or your computer, through the internet, of course, connect to that cloud service provider, and then there you go. You have access to computing resources. Now, computing resources may include, serverless computing, virtual machines, storage, and so much more. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Now, basically, these cloud service providers actually have massive data centers. Now, in these data centers, what you have are hundreds of servers. Also included are storage systems and mainly several organizations' critical components. So these are very secure, safe locations where a large amount of data is stored, hence the name data centers. Now, it is to these data centers that users actually connect to collect their data or use it. So actually, users can access any service based on their requirement. Now, like I told you, there's a number of services the user can use. For example, now if you want a notification every time someone sends you a message, or perhaps once you get an email, you need a copy of it created. Now, for all of this, there are services. And most importantly, almost every cloud service provider has this option where users only pay for the service that they use. So there's no charge upfront where they tell you that you need to pay X amount of money so that you can use our services. You're only paying for the amount of time that you're using these services. Now, cloud computing is used for a wide variety of reasons. Firstly, there's machine learning and data analysis. Now, basically, there are services that analyze your data and tell you how you can work with this data better. Then there's data storage and backup, streaming media content. For example, did you know that the shows that you watch on Netflix, actually all of them are in the cloud. So you're connected to the internet and you browse through Netflix and you get access to the videos. These are possible with the help of cloud service providers. There's creating and testing applications, automating software delivery, which is a component in DevOps, and hosting blogs and applications. So now, what is Azure? What's the big cloud service provider all about? So Azure is a cloud computing platform provided by Microsoft. Now it's basically an online portal through which you can access and manage resources and services. Now, resources and services are nothing but, you can store your data and you can transform the data using services that Microsoft provides. Again, all you need is the internet and being able to connect to the Azure portal. Then you get access to all of their resources and their services. In case you want to know more about how it's different from its rival, which is AWS, I suggest you click on the top right corner and watch the AWS versus Azure video so that you can clearly tell how both these cloud service providers are different from each other. Now, here are some things that you need to know about Azure. It was launched in February 1st, 2010, which is significantly later than when AWS was launched. It's free to start and has a pay-per-use model, which means, like I said before, you need to pay for the services you use through Azure. And one of the most important selling points is that 80% of Fortune 500 companies use Azure services, which means that most of the bigger companies of the world actually recommend using Azure. And then Azure supports a wide variety of programming languages, the C#, Node.js, Java, and so much more. Another very important selling point of Azure is the amount of data centers it has across the world. Now, it's important for a cloud service provider to have many data centers around the world because it means that they can provide their services to a wider audience. Now, Azure has 42, which is more than any cloud service provider has at the moment. It expects to have 12 more in a period of time, which brings its total number of regions it covers to 54. Now, let's talk about Azure services. Now, Azure services have 18 categories and more than 200 services, so we clearly can't go through all of them. It has services that cover compute, AI and machine learning, integration, management tools, identity, DevOps, web, and so much more. You're going to have a hard time trying to find a domain that Azure doesn't cover. And if it doesn't cover it now, you can be certain they're working on it as we speak. So first, let's start with the compute services. First, virtual machine. With this service, what you're getting to do is to create a virtual machine of Linux or Windows operating system. It's easily configurable. You can add RAM, you can decrease RAM, you can add storage, remove it. All of it is possible in a matter of seconds. Now let's talk about the second service, cloud service. Now with this, you can create an application within the cloud, and all of the work after you deploy it, deploying the application that is taken care of by Azure, which includes provisioning the application, load balancing, ensuring that the application is in good health, and all of the other things are handled by Azure. Next up, let's talk about Service Fabric. Now with Service Fabric, the process of developing a microservice is greatly simplified. So you might be wondering, what exactly is a microservice? Now a microservice is basically an application that consists of smaller applications coupled together. Next up, functions. Now with functions, you can create applications in any programming language that you want. Another very important part is that you don't have to worry about any hardware components. You don't have to worry what RAM you require or how much storage you require. All of that is taken care of by Azure. All you need is to provide the code to Azure and it will execute it, and you don't have to worry about anything else. Now let's talk about some networking services. First up, we have Azure CDN, or the Content Delivery Network. Now the Azure CDN service is basically for delivering web content to users. Now this content is of high bandwidth and can be transferred or can be delivered to any person across the world. Now these are actually a network of servers that are placed in strategic positions across the world so that the customers can obtain this data as fast as possible. Next up, we have ExpressRoute.
Those are other services. I mean, you can also always check the video in its entirely. But I'll stop it here because we're getting to services that are not super relevant. So you had a general idea of what Azure can and cannot do. Again, there is not much that it cannot do. Okay, so we're going to be using that for application deployment. So So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna step through what we need to do to deploy our application that we have created up to the end of chapter 12. We're going to deploy that sports store live. Okay? Let's see. So if you want to make notes as we go along, feel free. If you want to try, feel free as well. You're going to have time to try that on your own later. Okay? If you just want to follow through, that's fine. You can always review, you can always revisit the recording afterwards. Again, this is the only recording. There is no video around that I put together. This is it. Okay? So, first thing that we have to do is we have to create an Azure account. Now, Azure, it requires a credit card. Okay? But it will not use the credit card to debit anything. It uses the credit card to validate your account. So I have already set up the account. I'm not going to go through how to create your account because, again, you have created accounts on sites and it's just one more site that you can create an account. You can use your Centennial email address, but it will ask you for additional information as you go through, okay? Again, you can give it a try now, you can give it a try later. It's up to, actually, leave it for later because you may get stuck and we're gonna be moving forward here. I really want us to focus here on the demonstration first, and then you try on your own. So again, you can use your Centennial email, or you can create a brand new email based on outlook.com. For this exercise, for this demonstration, I have created a brand new email, so I can use here. You can go to this address to create the new account. Once you have your account created, you can just go to portal.azure.com. That becomes your first place to go once you have your account already set up, okay? So let's start with this. Let's start by creating our databases, okay? Assuming that we are ready to deploy, our application is compiling, it's running properly, we are ready to put it live. Those are the steps that you're gonna be taking to put it live. The first one, you're going to create the required databases on Azure, okay? Now, again, to be able to create the database, you have to have an account. So you have to take care of that account as your first step. So let's have a look here. I'm going to go to portal.azure.com. It's just asking me to log in. I have a bunch of related Microsoft accounts. So this is the one that I'm using as a demonstration. I'm using the solo coder at outlook.com. I'm going to log in. Again, nothing too different here. Now, this is where things start to get interesting, but at the same time, a bit overwhelming because you're going to see a lot of options here. By the way, I tell you up front, I'm not an Azure specialist. Okay, so what I'm covering here are the basic steps to get things in place. But again, don't ask me too much about this environment because this is not my cup of tea, okay? I use it just to make deployments, but that's it. I'm not a specialist about this environment here at all. So what you see here are already some of the tests that I was doing before. For now, I'm gonna ignore those, and we're gonna start as they didn't exist. I'm gonna create every single element that is required. Sometimes what you're gonna find with an application like Azure is that to create one thing, you need first to have another thing. And then but before that thing, you need something else before that. So there's a lot of, to create a database, I need a resource group, which then I need a server as well. The good thing is that the assistants, the wizards that we're gonna walk through, it will tell us, hey, you need this. Click here to create. So I'm gonna step through here. Again, ignore that we have this. Whatever I'm gonna do today, I'll use sec008 as a reference point so we know that our stuff is under sec008, okay? So here's the interface of Azure. We need to create two databases. Let's have a look at the options. Where should we go? Look there. SQL database. Okay. So again, I'm just trying to make sure that you look at it and try to use a little bit of your rationale there to figure out where you should go. So SQL database. Okay. Now from here again, I have already some stuff here, but I'm going to create a new one. So I need two databases. I need one database for the products, and I need one database for the identity. So I'm going to create both of them. I'm going to just click on Add. Now, here's the thing. When I set things up initially, my accounts, I created a free trial account. So I'm using my free trial subscription. Okay, you're going to have a similar one as you register for the first time. You're going to have a free trial subscription as well. Resource group is the one that's by default, in the beginning, there's nothing there. So you have to create one here. What I'm going to do is, even though I have one there already, I'm going to create a new one, as you will see that you're going to have to create a new one here. It's a required field. So you cannot progress here before you set a resource group. Anderson, what is a resource group? It's just a way to aggregate resources. But again, as I say, I don't know all the ins and outs. I just know that you are able to create groups of resources within Azure. And you will need to have this set before you can proceed. So I'm just going to click Create New Group. Resource group. It's just a name. Just a name. In our case here, I'm going to say solo coder. Let me see, sec008. Okay. So again, solo coder. Let me see if I can put just a dash here. Okay, perfect. So we have our new resource. You're going to need to create one as well. I don't know if this has to be unique. Let me see, because some stuff in Azure needs to be unique. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that this needs to be unique. But again, first step, a resource group. Then we're going to give our database details here. Okay. First database, we're going to be calling it products. Now, here's the thing. Let me see here. Well, so I think I had a products already, but now because I'm in another, okay, keep it products. Let's just keep it like that. And then we also need to have our server. Again, this is a virtual server. It's not a physical box that is there, but we need to have that. So instead of using the one that I have already there, I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to create a new server as well. So in our new server, very important, we need to keep a record of this name, because this is our server name that we're going to need to use it where? Where are we going to use this name, admin, password? Where are we going to use this? In our connection string. In our login, when you need to log in to see the data, but more specifically in our connection string. Okay? So we're gonna need to keep a record of this. So as you go along this, I usually open a text editor and I keep copying and pasting things there. So my server here, now, let me just confirm this. Okay, so this is important. See, the server name, it needs to be unique across the entire Azure network. It's almost like you are creating a unique URL. Okay, so just for the sake of it, I'm going to say so I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm going to open a text file so I can keep track of those things. Server. And then I have to create a username and a password for this user. This username is the admin of the database. Okay, it becomes the owner of the database. So we need that as well. So the user, I'm going to say just this here. Let's see if that works. And I think it needs to be unique as well. And then the password, let me see if I can generate something here. Okay, let's try this. I'm using here a local, just a tool that I have to create random passwords. Let's see if this will work. Okay, and I'm going to paste here as well. Okay, and then location. You may say, Edson, how do I know the location? Well, just think about this. Choose a location that is the closest to you, okay? Closest to us. So I would go either with Canada Central. I don't see a Canada East here, but there is a US East. There is a Canada East here. Was it this one? The bottom? Okay, okay, perfect. So let's make it, okay. Well, for some reason, this is not available for us. Again,
It's the free version.
yeah, maybe. Don't ask. So let's use this one here, or the one central.
Why are you using the closest one to you?
Because theoretically, it would have a better performance as we are connecting from us to them. The closer you are, the better would be the performance. At this point in time, to be honest, with what we're doing just now, I don't think it would make a difference to have a server in the other side of the world because we don't have volume. So, but again, in a live application, the closer you are the closer the server is from your users, the better. If you have a global application that needs to be used across the globe, it doesn't make too much difference. But again, you will always have the majority of users coming from country X, country Y. Maybe it's just US based. Maybe it's just Canadian based. Okay? So I'm just going to keep it here. And now we should be able to proceed. Okay, so once I fill out the server information, I click OK, and that server will start to get commissioned, to get built. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I have everything here. I'm gonna click OK, and let's see. Okay, so you see it takes a little bit of time, but it becomes now part of the drop-down, and it's set automatically as a server of our database, okay? So we have the database name, we have the database server. I'm going to save this. Okay, great. So again, we create a new resource group. It's just a name. We create a new server. We give the database a name, which is products. So I'm just going to db name products. And then I'm gonna hit next. I'm gonna hit next. This works like an assistant here. The rest of it pretty much is leave things by default the way they are set up. So I'm not even gonna read this. I'm just gonna move forward. This one as well. I'm not gonna care about those tags. In the end, create and review. Again, I'm using a free account, even though it says an estimate cost per month. But again, I'm using a free account here. Yeah, correct. So you have $250 or in 30 days. To be quite sure, to be honest with you, once you create, you test, share your URL with me, so I know because this is part of your bonus 10. But then, after that, after we're gone, like in the next 2 days or 3 days, delete them. Delete everything there. Because the last thing that I want to happen is that, oh my goodness, I forgot things there, and all of a sudden, your card.
I didn't have to give you a credit card.
You didn't have to? Interesting, because I had to.
Yeah, I did sign in without.
Without credit card?
Yeah. Well, I think when you choose a service that you want to do, you're gonna.
Okay, so maybe, yeah, I don't know. I know that I had to put my credit cards.
I know you're a sucker.
Well, let's see in a month. Let's see in a month.
This page is okay? If we reach this spot, it means that everything's okay?
Means that, yeah, so,
When you're gonna use the skill database, you're gonna put your code, right? So I think that's how it's happening.
yeah, so, that was my experience. Again, give it a try, see how it goes. I had to put. my credit card. Then just make sure, again, in 2 days, I'm going to get rid of every single test that I'm doing here. Anyway, as we get to the last step, we just click Create. And now Azure will start to commission a new server, not only a new server, but a new database as well. We have to wait a little bit here. It takes a little bit of time. You don't need to be waiting right here. Usually what I do is I go to Home, I go to SQL Database, and I wait here until it shows up. Actually, let me see here. Yeah, server. Yeah, until it shows up. Those are my older database. The new one is not here yet because you see the server. The server says solo coder, and our server is called solo coder server sec008. Okay, so again, there is usually a message that pops up that says that your database has been commissioned. What I can do, I can move on and create the second database while it does the first one, and then I'll come back here and see later if it's there. But let's add a second one. Let's add our identity. So now, resource group, I no longer need to create a new one. I can just select the one that I have created before, okay? Database name, I'm going to call this identity. In server, the same thing. I can select the one that we just created, which is not here yet, actually. Yeah, it's not here yet. So again, we have to wait until it's commissioned. Otherwise, I could select another one, but I think it would be better if we just wait a little bit. See, subscription, free trial, remain 250.92 cents. Okay, free trial. Okay, great. So we have it here. Okay, let's show up now. Great. So identity. Okay. So again, resource group is set, server is set, database name is set. I'm just going to hit review and create. It's just a final summary of what you're setting up. I'm just going to confirm and create. And again, it's working to get the second database delivered. So let's have a look back there. Let's go to SQL Server. And see, we have the products is right here now. Now again, it's just a matter of getting the identity as well. So we wait a little bit. Let me see what's next step here. So we did that, products, identity. As I said, be patient, it takes a while to show up. Okay, this is important. Let's have a look here. Okay, so now if I go to products, look, I have many databases here, but I'm going to choose the one that is under the server that I created right now. So I'm going to go to products. And now I'm going to have to set the server firewall. Let me explain what this is. So for us to run the scripts required to create the tables, our migration scripts, we need to connect to Azure. We need to connect to the database from our local environment. Because again, we want to run those migration scripts. For that to happen, we need to, who knows what is a firewall?
Security or protection?
Security, protection, okay? So there is a firewall built into SQL Server database. And it's active by default, and it stops any attempts to get to our databases, unless we open for some IPs to access the database. So here's what we have. right now, there are no rules here. So right now, firewall is blocking every single IP. It's not allowing anything to come through. But we need just our own IP. We don't need everybody's IP. We just need that, hey, I need at least my IP, the local IP of my computer, to be able to get through the firewall. That's what we're going to be doing now. Because otherwise, you won't be able to run the migration scripts from your Visual Studio into Azure. We need that step, because otherwise that will not work, okay? So, for that to happen, again, I'm just going to start this. See, now we have both databases here, see? So let's say that we're going to go to products, set server firewall. By the way, this firewall is not only for the, what's the name of the table? It's not only for the product, but this is also for the identity, because it's actually in the server. We have one server with both databases, okay? So whatever we set in the firewall here applies to both databases, okay? So I'm going to go there. Guess whose IP address is this one here? Yeah, my computer. Give it a try on something here on your workstation. Go to what's my IP. Put on Google, what's my IP, and see which IP comes up. If it's this one or if it's a slightly different number that you get. I don't know. I'm not that great with network, you know. Is it different?
Yeah,
so I would assume that just the end is different, just the ending?
Yeah.
Yep. That's 3 digits.
No, last digit.
Just last digit here.
For me, it's like 8, 2, not 8.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. The thing is this. That has to become your one rule in the rules that you're going to be opening up. You know? So you can easily do that by, let me see here how you do this. There was something that you could do quickly here. Well, doesn't matter. What I can do is I can just copy that IP. I can say Centennial. And I can paste the IP as the start and as the end IP. And I can save this. So what I'm saying is that I'm just giving a name. Again, this is just the name of this rule. And I'm saying open the firewall for this IP to come in. So I'm able to run from my local computer what I need to run, okay? We're going to be revisiting this because there is a little caveat here, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. But that's about it. When you are in your laptops, you're going to be doing something similar to that, okay? As you can see, if I go back to the databases and I open the first identity, and if I go to set server firewall, it's already there. So again, this is common to both databases. It's a server level, not a database level, okay? By the way, I have, well, I should have Padlet opened, so if you have any questions there as well, you can post there. Okay, moving on. So we are opening the IPs, the IP. Okay, so now let's get the connection string because we need the connection string of both databases so we are able to connect to that location. So we can go to each database over there. So let's go back. Let's go to products database. And then you see here on the side, it says connection strings. I click there, and it shows my connection string. I can just copy this here. There's this icon to copy. I'm just going to paste here in my text file. Just for now, I'm just going to keep a record of that. See, it shows the ID, but it doesn't add the password for you automatically. It does not. So you have to change that, okay? So you have to use the final password and replace, and again, get rid of the curly braces as well, okay? Don't leave anything there. Again, this is the number one aspect that gets people confused or blocked because there's something wrong with their connection string, okay? So very important to get the connection string right. So this is the first connection string. This is the products. Again, just making a reference here. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to do the same for the other database. So I'm going to go there to the identity. I'm going to show the database connection. I'm going to copy. And this is the identity. And again, password is the same. We are using the same user for both databases. Okay, because actually the user is a server user, not the database user. Okay, so I'm just going to save. One additional aspect here, I think I mentioned that in the PowerPoint, but I'm going to change this already. Make sure that you set this parameter, multiple active result sets to true. So set this to true as well. I don't know exactly what would happen if you don't do that. I think that you may get into some deadlocks, which is when one connection is waiting for the other one. Again, it's recommended to set this multiple action results set to true. So I'm setting them, and I'm going to keep them here for now. Okay, so we got both of them. Again, the good thing is that you can recap this, you can review this. I don't expect you to memorize all the different places that you go. Just have a general understanding and get back to this as you see necessary. Okay? Any questions? Again, we created our account on Azure. I had done this already. You do that by yourselves. I have created 2 databases. I have gathered the connection strings to both databases. And now, here's what we have. We have the server name. So the server name, we have the username, we have the passwords, and we have the 2 databases. Okay? So now, here's what we're going to be doing. Now, we should be able to connect to our database. But, there's a big but. The but is this. Here inside Centennial, there's some sort of a port being, I think that the port of SQL is being blocked. Okay? So I was not able to connect to SQL remotely from my computer here within Centennial, within the Centennial network. And again, I just realized this today. I was working with this from home. Everything was working fine. When I came here, it stopped working.
Are you on your laptop?
What is that?
Are you on your laptop? Or
I'm doing with my laptop. Well, yeah.
if you use a VPN, it usually goes outside the school and allows you to connect to it.
I've tried to use a VPN.
Because it does that for downloads too, and if you go onto a VPN and it stops.
Yeah. I'll try a VPN again, but I've tried a VPN today in the afternoon. It didn't work either. So the way I was able to, at least to demonstrate this to you, is by connecting to my phone data. So I'll be connecting my laptop to my phone, and then I'll be able to show you this. Otherwise, I won't be able to connect to this. You won't be able to connect to this, and let's see what we're going to do about that a little bit later. But again, I will have to activate my data. So let me see if I get my phone. I sent an email to the IT people, so hopefully by tomorrow they well, they either tell me how to do it or it's not possible to do it. And I'll bring that information back, but I send them a notification, a request. Okay, so let's see. Okay, do I have any hackers around? Should I be worried about anything? I'm looking forward to interview some hackers. Actually, just a side note. Today I went in Ajax. They are building this thing called escape room. Who knows what is escape room? You know? Everybody knows. I was the only one that didn't know about the escape room. Well, they are building an escape room there for that kind of stuff with 3 rooms. One room is a room simulating a hacker's room. Another one is an office room. Another one is a living room. And they are building this hacker thing just to educate and bring schools and bring people that are very, very, very interesting. Just went there today in the afternoon. Okay, so I am connected. Now what? So now I'm going to open. I'm going to open my solution here. Open. So the solution I'm going to open is the one at the end of chapter 12. Okay, so it has login, logout, all that jazz there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect now to that database here on SQL Server Object Explorer. I'm going to close this, and again, just to recap, to open it from View, SQL Server Object Explorer. I'm going to connect to a new server, so I'm going to right-click here.
This is why it's part of the bonus, because we can't do it here.
No, actually, so here's the thing. My plan was to do it here and help you out. If you get stuck, I'll be here helping you out. And then when I came and I tested, it didn't work. So I had to come up with another strategy. So let's see how things progress today, and we'll figure out. We'll do something here. I extend, yeah. Let's hold that thought for a little bit longer, and we'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to add SQL Server. Now, server name. Well, let's have a look at our connection string. Our connection string will tell us everything that we need. Well, server name is this guy here. No, actually, it's not. This is the server name inside Azure, okay? But the server name that we need to use to be able to connect here is this one here, sec008 .database.windows.net. That's the whole. This is the address of our server, actually, of our virtual server. You see, it's the same on both databases. You see. So here is the server name. Authentication, you're going to be using SQL Server Authentication. The username, this is the username. This is the password. I'm gonna check this box here to remember passwords. I'm not gonna select the database because I want to see all databases available in this server. So I'm not gonna select anything here. I'm just gonna click connect. And okay. So here is what is happening. I'm just going to cancel that for a second. The IP changed because I'm now connected to my phone. So I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go to the databases. SQL Server databases. I'm going to go to identity again. Set file. Okay, so as you can see, now I have another IP because again, my laptop is connecting to my phone now. So I need to use this one here. See one thing here. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm just going to say. Okay, so with that, I will save. And, okay. And then let's try again. So let's try connect. So now it went through. Now you can see here that this is the server. I can expand that. I can expand databases. And again, it takes a little while. I can see identity and I can see products. Okay? Now, if I look inside, there are no tables. Just let it load. Again, remember, this is all remote. This is not local. See, no tables here under identity. And again, no tables will show up here. We didn't run the scripts yet. We just have 2 empty databases, okay? Great, okay. Let's keep going here. Where we are. So we have been able to connect. That's fine. Now here's the thing. We're going to set up the connection strings. We're going to set up both connection strings, but now in a new JSON file. We're going to keep our development connection string so we don't lose them. But we're going to create a second configuration file. Actually, let's do this. Let's go for 5 minutes, and I'll carry on once we're back. 5 minutes. It's what? No, actually, I'm using the one prior to that. Part 9, what I go through on part 9 is not really available in chapter 12. So I've opted to go with part 8. Part 9 is about roles. So it was more of a plus that I added to chapter 12. So I'm using part 8.3 as a reference.
I know a VPN that works.
Oh, you know? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay. So tell me.
It's called BetterNet.
BetterNet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So do I need the
You have to download it.
You have to download? Okay.
Yeah, the website is blocked though, but
Oh, it is?
I have it installed. I have a download in my Google Drive.
So you are able to if you use it, you are able to. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I tried it a lot of times on
A lot of times in these computers? Yeah. I don't know if I should try that, to be honest with you, because they don't.
Probably not.
Yeah, they don't want us to add anything. But again, hey, if you found your way.
If you need.
No. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up?
When I run my application, it's
Actually,
throw on. Yeah.
Let me just put the timer here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I capture this exception service. I think it's related to the database. I think I cannot find my database on the SQL server.
Okay. So, if you go to view.
On this spot.
Okay.
There's exception here.
Cannot resolve scope service. Okay, are you able to compile and show that?
Yes. And then if I try to skip this,
Cannot resolve. Yeah, so do we have it here? Do we have it?
the project.
Yeah, that is giving this error.
Yes, it's run. If I comment the seed data.
If you comment seed data.
Yeah, it's run well.
Okay, but then when you don't comment seed data, it's
Yeah,
when you get the error.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Try to run the.
yeah, we've tried to run seed data. Which point do you have to comment seed data? Oh, you're commenting there, the complete. Okay. Okay, let's give it a try.
Actually, he's not running away from that. He started, but he's stopped using other things. So forgot about it. It's not very hard. Like,
Yeah,
we just have to create other tables. And we have
Okay, so recipe web page 2.models.
no.
So application, DB context. Okay. Data. Get requires of application DB context startup. But the application is working. I mean, the data.
No, as you don't have any data.
Oh, you don't do any data. Oh, I see. So you just started
Yeah.
with the seed data. Oh, I see.
You can like access the create and the main page, but you cannot like.
You cannot create. You cannot actually create. You have this error.
Yeah. I think because the database is not created, and because I cannot look any like database, I have this.
Okay. So let me see one thing here. So you have migration scripts here. The database is not created.
Yeah, I cannot look up on the SQL like Explorer, so I think it's.
Okay. So local is here. Database are here. What is the name of the database? Oh, recipe web page. Okay, let me think here. So migration scripts, the ones that are here, you have generated with the command line?
Yeah, I run it to. Because I run for the initial.
Initial, you run initial, and you run the second one?
Yeah, the initial two.
Okay, you run the initial. But what about the second one? Did you try to create the database via the second command? Just to give it a try?
No.
Give it a try. Because here's the thing. Seed data is supposed to do that for you. But try to run it manually. The second command. The first one, the migration you created, correct? The second one is supposed to create the database. Try to run the second command, the one that says update database. Because that one is supposed to create the database. Let's see if you are able to create the database because yeah, we're going to have some time today, and we can sit down and have a closer look at
Let me
that.
try the second one.
Yep. Okay, so let's keep going here. So as I was saying, we're going to be creating now a second JSON file, a second configuration file to host the production connection strings. So we're going to go to Sports Store, right-click in the project, go to Add, New Item, and then from New Item you can choose App Settings file. We're going to create one called App Settings dot production. Very important, then the keyword production here, okay? So App Settings dot production dot JSON. So it has two dots there. App Settings dot production dot JSON. Again, production keyword is very important because that's a keyword that we're going to be using somewhere else as well. So we're going to add this. Now, I'm just going to get rid of what is there. I don't care about what is there, but I will go back to my original app settings. I'm going to copy everything that is there. I'm going to paste on the new one. However, I'm going to do what now? I just want the structure. What is it that I'm going to change now? I'm going to change the actual connection string. I'm going to change each one for the live ones that I put here in this file. Again, make sure that you don't have line breaks, okay? Connection strings, they don't have line breaks. I'm showing as a line break here just to make it easier to visualize. But again, if I get rid of that, it's just one single line, okay? So I'm going to copy this. This is the product one, so I'm going to get rid of the original one. I'm going to paste that there. The same thing I'm going to do with the second one, with the identity connection string. I'm going to copy. I'm going to replace it here. And I'm going to save. Okay, so now we have two app settings. The question is now, how does the application knows which one to use? Well, there are two things that we're going to be taking care of. One is, because we already have the migration scripts, we don't need to recreate the migration scripts anymore. We just need to run them, both of them, for the identity and for the product database. We need to run against the new database that we have created. But how do I say if it should use this or this one, the app settings or the app settings.production? Well, here's the thing. We're going to go to the package manager console. No, you have been introduced to that in our last class. And then we're going to check this out. We're going to use this command here. Let me show you this. It's a $env from environments, and ASP net core underscore environments. This is what it's called, an environment variable. I'm going to just read it. I'm just going to read its value for now. If I just put $env column ASP net core underscore environments, if I put that in our package manager console, it's going to read. So as you can see, right now it's empty. I'm hitting enter and nothing shows up. It means that this variable right now in memory is empty. What I'm going to do, if it's empty, it means that it's not set. If it's not set, it means that if I try to run the migration scripts here, it will run based on the app settings. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the same command, but I'm going to say equals to production. When I say this, I'm making ASP.NET Core environment variable, and I'm setting it to production. So if I hit enter, now if I check the value of this, now it becomes production. So right now, we changed this variable from nothing to be set to production. Because of this, if I try to run the migration scripts right now, they will run against the second set of connection strings, not the first one, not this one here. Because what this command does, and let me see, I'm just going to open last week's presentation to get the exact comment. Because quite honest, I don't remember. Here is. So I'm gonna use this one here. So again, now I have to update the database for both databases, okay? So I have to say app update database dash context, and the first one that I'm going to run is the product one, which is called, if I go to models, application DB context. So I'm just going to copy the name here. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so by running this command, I'm running the scripts, the migration scripts, from the application DB context against the live Azure database. Because we set the environment to production, it will read from here. from the second app settings. And again, production here needs to match this keyword here, production, okay? So with that done, when I hit enter, again, this will start to run there. Let's have a look, let's see. Again, remember, we are running this remotely, so it may take, well, maybe it will take a lot of time, maybe not. Let's see. Okay, so it seems that it ran already. So now, how can I see that? I can refresh this database here. I can say refresh in the database, not just in the table, but in the database. It's kind of hanging right now, so let's just wait and pray. Again, still hanging here. Okay, so it seems to be back. Let's see here the tables. Okay, now we have the tables there. See, so those are the tables that have been created by the scripts running against Azure. Now, who can tell me what we do next? We did that for the first database. We need to do the same for the second one. So for app identity DB context. So I'm gonna just hit enter. And let's check the other database. So here it is. I'm gonna refresh. Wait a little bit.
Before, when you wrote the line environment,
Yeah.
the production, the first letter, you wrote it capital. Does it matter? Or
I don't think it matters. I don't think so. Okay, so we're back, and let's see the tables. And here we have the tables, okay? So again, now we have the two databases with all tables necessary included on both of them. Let's see what's next here in our process. Okay, so set the environment variable, we did that. Run the updates, we did both of them. Check in SQL Server Object Explorer, we did that. We saw the tables. Now, okay, so now let's run the application. Let's run it and let's see how it goes. Now, before I run, if I run it right now the way it is, it will run against my local database because I need to make one quick change. By the way, the environment change is just applicable to package manager, okay? So the environment change that we set here is just for this. It's not for the application yet. For the application, I need to go to the application details, to the project details. So I'm going to go to properties of the project. Again, not properties of the solution, but the project. Click the project, right click, go to properties, And then under debug, scroll down, and you're going to see the same name. It has the same name as the other one, ASP.NET Core _ environments. It's set to development. We're going to have to rename this to production. So production. Again, this name has to match the name that you have given here in the settings. I'm going to save this. And once I run, I'll be running the application locally, but accessing the remote database. So let's give this a try. Okay, so let me go to the back end here. I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to say address, I don't know. Who can tell me how do I know if this change was done locally or live? How do I know that?
Oh, so just close it and...
So let's, how about we go back here and have a look at the data. So we know that this is a server, this is the live one. So let's check there. Let's see the products. So we have products database, we have the products table. Let's have a look there. Right click, go to view data, cross your fingers. This will take a little bit of time. Because again, it's come
remotely or because you're using
because it's remotely.
your phone's mobile?
No, it's because it's remotely. I mean, phone, yeah, it doesn't help too much. Well,
Maybe refresh.
Let's see. I try to refresh here. Let's have a look. Okay, you know what? I made a change, but I didn't save it. You see here the asterisk? It's telling me that I changed, but I didn't save it. So let me close it. Strange. Production. Let me just. Yeah, I think the change was done locally actually. Let's have a look here, the local one. Sports store, tables. Yeah, so it was done locally. So let's see. Let's save this. So production. I'm just checking the spelling to make sure that I don't have anything wrong here. Okay. Gonna run again. Okay, so you see now it's not showing. So most likely it's running now in the live ones. Kayak 1, 2, 3. Great, so let's have a look there. In the local one, view data. Kayak is still with my name there. Just change this. And then let's check the one on the live server. Products, view data. And we don't have data yet. Let me refresh here.
There should be data, right?
There should be, yeah, because,
Refresh the other side.
okay, that's okay. So here we have, okay? So again, it's running, but what is remaining? What is left here for us to do? The way it is right now, is it done? No. Because we didn't deploy what? The application. The application is not deployed yet. I'm running locally the application. The application needs to run remotely, okay? So let's close this. I'm going to close all those files. Okay. Let's go back here to the presentation. Sorry, here. Okay.
You need the local database.
Well, we keep the local database to do local development, to develop locally, because we ideally we have a test environment and a live environment. And actually, ideally, we have 3 environments. We have a dev environment, a user acceptance environment where the user tests things out, and then a live environment. Okay. Okay, so we did that. We saved. Actually, initially I didn't save, so we save and rerun. Database is created and populated. Great. Now we need to publish the application. Okay? So the last step here is the publishing. For publishing, there is no problem with the network because it uses a default port. So I don't need to use my data here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I should be able to disconnect here. Let's give it a try.
So if we had any changes to our application, we'll have to publish it again. And as well as we have to run the update line again to update the server.
We only run the update if we made changes to the model. If we just change the application, like we change the view, or that's fine. We can just redeploy the files. But if we change the model, then we need to run if we change the model, we need to run the migration again to regenerate the migration, and then run the database updates. We need to run both of them. Okay? So for this one, I'm just going to go back there to the project. I'm going to right-click. I'm going to say publish. Now here, we're going to be setting this up for the first time. So we're going to select create new, and you're going to click on publish. We're going to be creating an app on Azure. This name here, it needs to be unique if I'm not mistaken. Again, you can keep the name that it is there, or you can change it, but I think that if you use something that is not unique, yeah, it will say that it's not available. So I can say something like sec008, and then it's unique. So subscription, free trial, it's the one that I'm using there. Here's my account. Again, if it is the first time that you do that from Visual Studio, you're going to have to log into your Azure account. Okay? Resource group, I can select the one that I have created for us. Plan, hosting plan. Well, hosting plan, I think that this I have created at the very beginning. You're going to have one there as well. Application sites, you don't need to set this up. Hit create. And then let's wait a little bit, because now it's creating the app environment, and it's deploying the files there as well. So it's copying what we did locally to Azure. At the end of this process, it will give you a URL that will be your live URL. Okay, so great. So we have our web application here. It's just finishing the deployment. You see the console, the output here. It's compiling and it's releasing there. Just wait a little bit more. Here we have the URL array, but we cannot copy it yet. See, it's deploying all the files, and it loads already the browser with the application there. Okay, I'll check the question in a second. Let me just see. Okay, let's see. Admin account. The admin account on Azure and the admin account is created in our application are the same. The admin account, yes, the application account on Azure, an admin account on Azure, yes, it's the same of the one as compared to the one that we entered to the database. Yes, it is the same. Okay, I got this error first time that I tried as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to recompile the application. I'm going to recompile here locally, and I'm going to redeploy. Because last time I got this error here, this particular error, I just did that and it worked. So I'm going to deploy again. Now, when I deploy a second time, I don't have to go through the initial setup anymore. It just jumps to this page, the screen, and I click publish. And it does the publishing. So the second time, it's faster than the first one because, again, it didn't have to create the application anymore, just the files. But we're getting this error here. Okay. Okay, so I can tell you that I have done this a few times. We're going to try to redeploy again, but here is one that I've tried earlier today. And here is another one. I think it's still okay, good. None are working. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this one is the one that we just tried. This one is another one from earlier today. I'm gonna post that so you can check it out. Again, this was not the one that we just did now, but here are two that I have done yesterday and the day before. Let me try again ours and see what might be going on. Again, I'm gonna rebuild it again and try to deploy it. Okay, I'm going to try one thing here. It might be related to this. I'm going to go to the firewall. Let's see if it has anything to do with this setting here, because I didn't check this one. Let me update this and let me give it a try. Okay. I'll try again. Okay, so it might be this setting here. Okay, so I thought that this setting was not relevant, but it seems to be. I think that this is what caused the problem. If you go to the database under firewall again, under firewall, also make this one on here. Allow Azure services and resources to access this server. It seems that you have to turn this on. to make it run properly. Here is ours, what we just did. Just gonna add there. Give it a try, try to load it there, but that's ours. So in this screen, you can just see here, site URL. This is the URL that you're gonna copy, and that's the one that you can share with whoever you want. It's unique, and that's your live URL. Now we can see kayak 123. If I log in here, if I go to admin, index, admin, then secret, I don't remember. Secret 123, and then $sign, and here we have. Okay, so this is our application live. Again, the only caveat that I have ignored was this one here. Allow Azure services and resources to access this service. This needs to be set to on to make it work. Okay? Again, lots of little steps. I'm not gonna ask you to do this in a test nor in your assignments, okay? But at least now you know what it takes to put an application live. Let me see what else, if there is anything else here. Oh, we did this, and here we have, yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. The idea was that you could give it a try on Sports Store and go through the steps. However, the database one, again, unless you are being creative there and you have your VPNs and you have your strategies to go around, otherwise you're gonna get stuck on that database, okay? But I'd like you to give this a try, and I would like to stick with our bonus 10 here. So what I was considering doing, and again, I'll make this optional. You can do it. Whether you do it or not, I'll leave it up to you. I'll still be here until the end of the night, but because the second part was really about us being hands-on, and again, we cannot be fully hands-on because of this connectivity issue with Azure. The idea of bonus 10 is that you would leave today with a live deployed site, posting your URL to Padlet, to your bonus folder as well. But again, because of this limitation, we'll not be able to do that. So if you want to take this, go home and try that, and post that before 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll take that as your bonus, okay? So I'll leave it up to you. I'll stick around. I'll be around. If you want, here are a few options for you. Again, you can still, I'm not going to go through this part here. The idea was that, one, you apply this to the, again, this is just an extra exercise. It's not the bonus. For the bonus here, it's just about Sports Store. Just whatever we did on Sports Store, deploy by yourself, upload your live URL. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to upload this video. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to upload the recording so you can have a reference point if you want to review this and follow through as well. But again, bonus 10 is just about giving the URL of your deployed site, okay? I'll leave it up to you again. You can progress here. You can finish the final touches at home. As you are here, I'll assist you. But again, we're going to get stuck there in connecting to Azure for the database parts, okay? Actually, let me just do a quick quick attendance here. Okay, so Al Hafez, Alvin, Andre, Caleb, yep. Daniel, Dominique, Enyong Yang Kin, Guang Bion Kin, How are you, Yuan? Huang Xiok Li, Ibrahim Jeffrey, Jim Kyung Choi, Joshua, Kenny, Kinjen, Kishore, yep. Baki, yep, I put yours. Bakir, Naweed, Pritpal, George, Kiki Wong, Anne, Sarmad, Sean, Soyeon Park, Trang Jan, Vincent, Shirong Lin, yep. Yezel Kang. Okay, if I did not call your name, you should come back. Most likely I call, but
I think I didn't hand Hyung-suk Lee H1UG.
oh, this one. Okay, perfect. Okay, no problem. So as I said, the idea is to go through Sports Store. Now, the other option is you can jump to Patient System, and of course you can skip Azure for now. This is just as an exercise, and set up Patient System, make it secure to block list and convert it to a database. Again, just another exercise to convert that to a database instead of memory. Or again, I'm going to give you options here. If you want to work on your assignment 3, you're more than welcome to stick around, work on your assignment 3. I can be here and use the lab time to work on that. I can be here to answer questions, to address anything that you might have there. But again,
That's two.
Yeah.
Bonus 10.
Yeah, bonus 10.
Tomorrow.
The idea is by tomorrow, 11 a.m., if you upload just the URL to your deployed version, I'll just check. That's your bonus. Okay? No problem. You should already be able to see under Centennial, under assessments, you should be able to see the bonus 10. And again, by 11 a.m. tomorrow. So I'll leave it up to you. If you want to stick around, you can stick around. If you want to go and do that already from home, but upload the URL to your live Azure.
It has to be Sports Store or anything.
If you want to do the patient system, that's fine. Well, Sports Store because it has two databases, so it would be a good exercise for it. If you have assignment 3 already in a point that you have two databases, I mean, I'll leave it up to you. I think that the easier one would be the Sports Store.
I tried to download chapter 12, part 9.
Yep. 9? 9 is not working? Okay, so 9 is a little bit different. Or 8.3. So that's on version 8.3. So
For the recipes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like here, I think a list of messages that have been validation from
so again, you can use this version here, okay? Use this version, part 8.3, as your basis to try this, to try to put this live, okay?
Problem with the signing.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem that I'm talking about. You cannot do that from here.
Sorry?
You cannot do that from here. That's what I was referring to. I was saying that you cannot do this part from inside of Centennial.
Then how can I do that?
At home.
At home?
Yes. Because I'm telling you, as I explained, Centennial blocks some ports, and it doesn't allow us to do that. That's the reason why I had to connect via my phone.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, got it? That was it. That's the only thing. Because again, I don't know how to work around that unless you have some interesting alternatives as your colleague there.
Sure. So I can create data. How to? I know how to create the database.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if I can properly work it. So can I, for the bonus 10, can I just send the database URL? I will try to work it, but I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. Again, just database URL, it doesn't mean much. I mean, ideally, we should be able to see it running.
Yeah.
If you follow what we have gone through,
Yeah.
and if you still get stuck, let me know. Send me an email. But again, if you just follow what we have done today here, there should be no problem. Again, it's a bit. I know it's a bit too many little steps there, but you're doing fine. I mean, the step that you got stuck there is just because you cannot connect from within the network here, from Centennial, from Centennial network. Okay.
Okay, I'm clear.
Give it a try. I'll be trying to publish the recording as soon as I get home today. I'll publish the recording so you can follow through. Okay. Do you have the link to the playlist of recordings of class? Do you have that?
Sorry?
Do you have the playlist that shows the recordings of the class? Do you have that? Do you know how to get that?
From list?
You can just go to Centennial.
Yep.
Go to the top here to the contents and go to
I think.
general.
Yep.
Here's the playlist. I'm gonna add one more video of today right here. So tonight you're gonna see here 1-19. It will be. You're gonna see another video tonight. Okay? Yep.
Which is like, let's say there's a recipes or created for it, right? So we can.
That in a second. What's up?
I'm already using this mail ID for my different purpose. I was using Azure for the data mining purpose.
Okay.
Now this is the free account is not eligible for me. I'm trying to do the.
So create a new one.
Yeah, I can't able to do this. I don't know if I go
Okay.
to create.
Okay. Go. Click that URL. Yep. Try Azure. Like the URL is Azure.Microsoft. Is that it?
No, first I need to create an Outlook account, right? A new Outlook account.
True. That's. But go through Azure because then you're gonna be asked if you want to add a new account. Go through Azure there. Let's try this. Azure login.
No.
Okay. Azure.Microsoft. That's the one.
Oh, it's just
Give it a try. Yeah. Go free account. We start free. Okay, so you're gonna have to sign out.
No, that's the thing. That's why we have to create another model, because this model is gonna have a list of reviews. And the partial reviews.
oh, why it is too slow today?
Sometimes it gets hooked up when you are trying to connect. Microsoft has a bit of a strange, and because we have Centennial with Microsoft account as well. So let's see. Do you have another browser? Do you have
This one too.
Oh, that's we're just discussing this. What about like I was trying to create my database.
See, it came up. See, it's pointing. It's going to. Okay, go back to the browser to the other one.
It has this problem. I could not be able to create the Outlook account. However it goes, it has this problem. Can't be able to create the Outlook account. It's strange. I don't know why.
So you have this is Edge or Internet Explorer? I think it's Internet Explorer, is it?
This is Edge, I think.
Make sure. Strange.
It was saying like having some kind of link to another page. This page will list all of the reviews for this one.
Let's give it a try on this one. What's up?
Can you use the things that you save, like for database name, those things, create new resources? When you ask, the part you paste, like copy and paste to the.
You mean the connection string?
Yeah.
The connection string? Okay.
In my case, instead
I'll be
of
back in a
another
second.
view, we would need another partial view.
Let me send you save it.
Do you mean this one here?
But we would have
Yes, exactly. So yes.
The connection string?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, but again, you're gonna have your own.
Yes.
Okay.
I have my own, yes. But I follow the steps I use.
Got it.
Yes. Because you're not uploading the video till maybe.
Yeah. No. Actually, I'll be uploading it tonight. My goal is to get home and upload it right away because I know that you guys are waiting for that. Okay.
Take a picture.
Yes, you can. It's better there. It's better there.
My idea was inserting the review.
What's up? That's the error that I was talking about. I said. So again, you cannot do it from here, because this is the network blocking a port to Azure. So again, the only way that I was able to work around that was via my phone. Okay.
It'll work back in 5 years.
It will work.
If I work from home, it will work.
It worked for me. I just did now. It worked via my phone. Again, the problem is within the network here. It won't work within the network.
So better go home and do it.
That's what I thought. I said, you know what? Just go home and finish that home, and that's it. You know. So stuck again?
Yeah, that's the same problem in Internet Explorer too.
Okay. So
Let me try.
so you're saying that you cannot even log in with another account?
I've tried doing that. It's not like if I go to the SEO page, it's like the resources page is not loading up. It's too slow.
Okay. So a few options here for you. One is clear on your browser, clear the cache, clear cookies, clear everything. The problem with clearing cookies is that you're gonna lose all your stored passwords and things like that. But clear everything. Maybe then create an account here in the computer here, via the computer, and then, because in the end you are able to log in to Centennial, aren't you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I never used Internet Explorer. This is like brand new.
Got it.
So it's not
I see.
same way.
Let's see here. So
And then like when you hit read reviews, it would already be loaded. We're just gonna spend one hit to show the span or the keyboard or whatever.
And he can scroll down.
okay, you're connected to the network here. Yes, you are.
They're saying like, you're reading here the instructions and you say, oh, let's see what else people are saying. You don't have to go to another view to read it. You can just read now.
Okay. Are you using any software that is strange? Anything that is messing around with? I mean, are you using anything out of the ordinary?
No.
No?
I'm using it regularly. Everything works. Yeah, this one. Everything is working good.
So,
I just can't right now.
go to Centennial. Try to log out from Centennial.
On Thursday, I have to present the report for advanced business communication.
This one is already logged in.
So,
Let me.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other Thursday, I don't know if the presentation is now, but the and
Okay, so it's logged out. Yeah. Okay, so don't log in. Go try the Azure.Microsoft. Yeah.
This is my folder. Let me.
Okay.
So it shows me login here.
Okay. So
Let me log out.
so this is the one that you don't want. You don't want that account, correct? Okay. So try. Let's click there. Refresh the page. I don't know.
That's problem in the
Yeah, I mean you have some plugins here. I don't know. I mean, go back here to Internet Explorer. Again, try. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Refresh this once again. Okay. So free account. Start free. Okay. Create.
Better approach for this.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So I don't know. Give it a try. Don't give up. Okay. All good? No? What's up?
My problem is that when I load up the database, well, at least try to load creating a database, it'll load up, but then it'll say cannot create.
Cannot create?
Yeah.
So you just created your account? I mean, how?
Yeah, it was just created.
Just created?
I'm right now loading it, as you can see. It takes a long time to load, but after it's soon it'll.
So you went through the process of creating, you got to the end,
Yeah.
like creating a new.
Here, trying.
Oh, just clicking on ads. You clicked on ad already. You went through the process and then create.
I didn't click on it. I clicked right here, create.
Oh, it must be the same thing. Try to click that ad there.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's another thing that could happen.
Okay, go back there to SQL Server database. Yeah, SQL database. Click that there. Okay, let me look. Slow error. Okay, this is an internal error from Azure, I think.
That's true.
Okay, here's the credit showing.
You have all emails?
But basically, like,
All seems to be fine, but this thing is
be different is if
getting
we decide
hooked
to
up.
have two different views or just one new view. Because the view model we're gonna have to create anyways. The model for the review we're gonna have to create anyways.
Let's try. And the only thing I can suggest is try from another browser. But I mean, again, it's really up. Something is wrong with Azure here, you know, with your account. I don't know. Maybe start with a new account, or. But again, okay, give it a try. Yeah. Again, this is something funky with. I'm gonna try it again. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna try another database. Maybe it's a problem right now with Azure. Who knows? Mine too. So mine is also hanging. It's not loading there. So maybe it creates too much stress on Azure right now, you know. I don't know, but yeah, see, same thing. So it might be a temporary problem with Azure. That's it, you know. Because look,
too many users.
Yeah, too many users. You know, this
10
entire
users.
10 users crying. Yeah, it's crying too much.
Professor, can you just
Yep.
help us out? We're thinking about the project right now.
I think you can show them the,
Yeah, this is what we have now.
Yep.
So we have a list.
Mm-hmm.
The user can only read the recipe.
Yep.
And we were thinking about we thought about two options. Either we have a partial view listing the reviews here,
Okay.
or we have another kind of a link to send the user to another view to read all the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And the user is able to, like, he has a button to add a new review.
Okay.
Like, which one do you think is the best approach? Like, to have
Okay.
the same?
Let's think about what would be more convenient to a user.
I mean, in the recipes websites, you know, there's always the product, or you know, like Amazon, or whatever website for products, and there is like the reviews under the products, right?
Mhm.
So
We
think
could have something like
his
this.
idea creating a partial view on the same view of
Maybe
recipe.
now I'm thinking about something like we can, because if this thing grows and like we have thousands of
Yeah,
users,
it's like,
so it would be impossible to list all of the reviews under the same page here.
yeah.
So we could limit here to show like 2, and then have another link to show all of the reviews. Maybe something like
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
It could be.
that's good too.
that shows.
Because here, like, if you think, like, you have 102, but
Yep.
this is showing only 2, right? So
I think
imagine
that's
showing
the best and
102
the
here.
worst, yeah.
Would be crazy.
But what's happening in here is that it will only show 2, and then there will be a
Load more.
option where it says see more.
See more,
Yeah.
load more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like, for example, here it has
I'm not sure if we
more
can do see
reviews.
more.
Yeah, you don't need
I
to
mean,
go that far,
We're gonna
but
show you the function, right? It's not gonna be like a
Yeah.
1,000 review.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
no, I mean, in our example,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
but
But
thinking in a more practical way, like, it would be even be better for us to learn how things should be working. Because, like, if we go to the
yeah, I mean,
work page,
ideally,
it's gonna be something like we're
in,
describing.
in a real scenario, we would have a richer UI. Our UI would be a little bit better in the sense that we would have a load more that could dynamically load more.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but again, we are limiting our UI to a very simple UI. So at least for the sake of this, show a few and then have a see all, see more kind of link that you can load and show the rest of them. Okay.
Or maybe since because we don't have 100 reviews, so maybe just
Yeah, I'm not asking to do any paging.
yeah, I think you
because
just
we
need
don't have
to
much.
see the function.
Yeah, I'm not asking to do any paging or anything. I mean, if you just show them there and I'll wait for the user to add another review, it'll be fine.
So basically, what we are thinking to do is in the same recipe view recipe page,
Mhm.
it will be showing some reviews, and in case that a user wants to add a review, there will be an option too. And those two functions, we'll put them in a partial view.
Okay,
Yeah.
that could be okay. Yeah. I mean, in the same interface, you see the reviews and you add a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So partial view is just because we don't want the same code like in
To
the
be growing.
So we just move the code somewhere else, but it's as if it's in the same page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. See, look, the problem. Again, yeah,
I just find it. It shows that items unavailable.
yeah,
You're getting the problem.
yeah. I am. I guess that's what I was looking.
Just to clear up something. So
Yep.
what we're doing is we're actually changing it so the recipes can only be made by like the admin, or are you still gonna have an because the way this
Yeah, for the admin.
so the only person that can actually add a recipe to the site now will be admin.
Okay. Yes, that's it. That's it. Really.
Okay, so when we
Yeah.
build our chef class, we'll have to build it into a like.
Well, again, you don't. It's not explicitly asking you to put security in chef. So
But if only the admin can create a recipe, they would have to add a chef. So because that's how it works.
yeah. So again, you don't. If you maybe it doesn't make too much sense. If you want to keep chef open, keep it open. If you want to put it behind the admin, put it behind the admin. Yes. So create, update, delete. So you have to be able to manage that. Now, I'm not asking there to apply security to it. So you can apply to make it more, I would say,
Because then it would be kind of strange to be able to add a chef, but not be able to add a
to
recipe.
add a recipe. I get it. Yep. Again, I'll leave it up to you if you want to put it, because I was not explicit on that. I'm not gonna ask for that. But if you implement that way, that's fine as well. I'm not gonna say, oh, you cannot implement with admin. No, you can implement. I just did ask to put yet another thing to be done.
So using the view model,
Okay.
So it can be open and it can be closed. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter too much. Really, security is more about, are you able to put that together, to put security together? But yeah, if you want to apply to that, I mean, again, you can. Okay.
Here we are still stuck on drop down list.
So let me ask you that. What about the problem that you were having? Is it done?
This is like,
I've done yet, but it's another problem. I fixed the previous one.
You fixed?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's all the drop down list, so
Oh yeah, so to get it as a drop down. You may want to consider, let me see here.
I found something
so for
like this on
example,
the book.
if you
Yep.
do that, I did on mine, so if you do that, you're gonna need
like this on the book.
Okay, let me see. Let me
They create
see.
another class for
and
the
the
chef.
paging info. It will be basically the same.
Well, actually, for sure, class, a chef has to be another class, has to be another model. Now, how are you going to populate that?
I think the chef and the recipe we have a relation to one to many. So one recipe can have only one chef. So
Yes.
I try to take this. I want to make a loop for this. So
I think there are, if you do a simple search like, you know, lookup, but something like MVC, C#, lookup, view, lookup, this type of scenario, which is like a drop down with chefs. This is what it's called a lookup. It's one place looking up to the content of a table. So put it there, something like a C#, C#, and then MVC,
Oh wait, our presentation
.NET Core, lookup,
run it and show. I think
lookup, add the search, look, okay, scroll down. Okay, put it lookup space select. Select, sorry, not space, just select.
yes.
Select view.
That's what
Yep, have a look there.
that is
Look
what
up.
was missing when I was studying.
Okay,
You have to connect to
Yeah,
the database.
uh,
You have to create a
see, look at the third one. The third, yep, this one there. Have a look there.
And you need the admin as part of
Scroll down. Scroll down. Let's see if we check if you see any drop downs there.
my interface is terrible because I
Course list. How to load related data.
same what I'm thinking about, but
know what is good, but I
in
can't
the recipe I want to make the chef is only one chef. So it's not a list.
I was kind of a
Got it. But when you are displaying or when you are entering the data, in which moment, which situation?
In the art recipe,
In the ads.
make the drop down list.
Got it. So that list, it has to come from somewhere. Usually, what you could potentially do is you could use a view bag to populate the list in the view bag, and then you read the contents of the view bag inside of your view. Okay. Let me do a few searches here, and I'll should be able to find something here.
Actually, we didn't do what we wanted to do because some of our applications didn't have a goal. The company I used to work for, they were crazy, so they bought the application without buying the source code. But the problem is they are at Spain, like the second biggest bank in Brazil. They are crazy. I didn't negotiate this contract, so I can't complain about it. So you see, this is way better. Cleaner. For the ID, when you connect to the database,
I did.
why are you?
What is that?
It says add HTML drop down list for, and then it goes X,
Yep, it does lambda there.
yeah, lambda. And then it just says model dot select country.
So so the model.
This one's using it
so-
as a country.
Yeah, so the model is providing the
fields.
the list
Because
here, you see?
I listed only the name of
See,
the recipe.
the list, countries.
So they can have
Can you
a
scroll all the way
name
to the other side? Let me see. Oh, so this is inside.
And then
Yeah.
like if the user gets
So you see, the list is coming from the model. So again, you could.
Views would attract, you know,
Yeah, because it looks like they're using, because it says,
whatever using the website, right? So
like, this
it's
is
a
their
good idea
label.
to include like in the list the name plus
Label
the
for
previous
model
site.
dot selected country.
Like a stars, so we can like make one star.
Let's see.
How did you
Here.
get 4.5?
So I did add it to you when I.
Ah, okay. So
Again, there are different ways that you could solve that. I mean, here it's creating a view model. See, it's using a view model to have the a list here. Now this list here is fixed. It's not dynamic, but in our case we have a dynamic one. But
to have an average of all of
see
the
here.
reviews that the user has included. So do you have
Yeah.
anything for review?
What about it? It's not functioning. It's
Ah,
like to show, but like.
See, populating the drop down in SP.NET Core.
Which is when you press on it.
Yeah, no, I understood.
This is more or less
But anyway.
what you're gonna need.
The stars beside the names.
I'll include mine to.
See, drop down list. Gmail.
So here what we have is instead of the button, there will be the fields where we can insert the
Oh my, but this is the question. So
when you say partial view, it doesn't mean that it's going to be another view. It's going to be in the same one, but the view itself will be separate.
Yeah.
So I would say that's partial view.
And even you can hide it. You can have like a div with the elements of the form, and then you have a show, like show reviews or show add a review, and then you change the CSS for that div. So you don't have like a huge page, like when the user loads, it doesn't create a huge page, only if the user clicks on add review, it shows it. I'll try to go to GitHub.
This
And then I'll send you the links.
Do you have an idea what this
So what else should I other than what we want?
I'm gonna add it, like the whole. I'm gonna add the text.
I think we just have to like, create a description.
I tried to I added only one line. I'm not sure.
No, I mean because we have to describe each thing that we are adding. For example, for the view model, why we are creating the view model? So we are creating or linking the review, the recipe with a list of reviews, for example.
Oh, so we're gonna talk about only for the function, right? Not for the whole project.
No, I think the proposal is just for the new stuff. Yeah. Professor, the proposal is just for the feature, right?
yeah, not for the security. just posted a link there. It has a very good step-by-step on how to do the drop down with dynamic data. So it shows a select, it shows the view. Again, you just have to do some adjustments there. But you see, even here, see the select, it shows how you can populate. You see, you have this ASP-items that you can use to populate the items. So that I think that's a good resource that if you follow, you should be able to get there in the drop-down. Here it says, it shows courses. You have a course, and then you have a drop-down of departments. The same idea.